You know that feeling. When you want something so badly, it almost hurts. And you push, and it just like slips further away.
Yeah, like trying to grab smoke or something.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, what if holding on tighter isn't the answer? What if you actually need to relax, to let go?
Well, that's the really fascinating idea we're going to unpack today, this sort of paradox, right? Achieving more by softening your grip.
Yeah.
We're looking closely at this, inspired by a video from the Stoic Soul YouTube channel. It's called Relax, and you will manifest everything you want, Stoic philosophy.
Right. And for you listening, maybe you're chasing goals, dealing with life's curveballs.
Yeah.
This isn't like magic dust.
No, not at all.
Think of it more like cutting through all the noise about manifestation, getting straight to a different way of thinking, and importantly, acting. Really practical stuff.
Absolutely. We're diving into 7 key ideas from the video today. Things like detaching from the outcome, mastering your mindset, trusting timing.
Divine timing, they call it.
Right, divine timing. Also acting with purpose, letting go of that need for control, embodying abundance, and finally taking the right action, and then, well, letting it be.
They all sound connected.
They really are. It's a whole approach, kind of holistic, that might feel backwards at first, but could actually make things, easier and more effective.
Okay, let's dig into that first one then, detaching from the outcome. The video says something really compelling: the harder you chase,
the more it runs away.
Yeah. Use that magnet analogy. Force them the wrong way, they just repel.
But let them align naturally.
And they click together. Effortless. Or like watching a plant. You can't make it grow faster by staring at it.
Right. You give it water, son. And then you trust the process. Over-focusing on the result, that obsession, it actually creates resistance.
How so?
Well, you get tunnel vision. You're so fixated on that one thing happening this specific way that you might actually miss the inspired idea or the opportunity right in front of you that would lead you there.
That makes sense. Staring at the destination so hard you trip over your own feet.
Exactly. So the video really pushes focusing on the process, the daily actions, your attitude, the effort you put in right now, not just the finish line.
And they brought in Epictetus, didn't they, that quote?
Oh, yeah. The one about, do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens as it should, and you will be happy.
Wow. That's powerful. It's about accepting things as they are, trusting the timing.
It really is. And it's not about being lazy or passive, It's a very active kind of acceptance. By letting go of needing it now and exactly like this, you free up energy.
Energy to act now with clarity.
Precisely. The video told that story about Lily, remember? Stuck trying to get that promotion.
Yeah, working crazy hours, getting frustrated.
Right. Until her mentor suggested she just focus on doing great work today and kind of mentally release the when of the promotion. Just trust the effort would pay off.
And it did, right. Opportunities opened up once she loosened that grip.
Exactly. So practically, if you're listening and want to try this, the video suggests focusing on your daily actions. What can you do today?
And let go of needing it to be perfect.
Yeah. Ditch the perfectionism paralysis. Just show up, do your best for today, and stay present in the doing, not lost in the what if of the outcome.
Okay, that feels doable. It takes the pressure off, kind of.
It does. Channel energy into effort and attitude, things you can influence. Less stress right there.
Okay, principle number 2, mastering your mindset. The video really hammers this home. Your thoughts literally shape your reality.
And the amazing thing is, even when everything outside feels chaotic, our mindset is something we actually have control over, or at least influence over.
That contrast they drew was interesting. The calm, focused mind versus the scattered, reactive one.
Yeah, a clear mind sees solutions. It's open. It almost seems to, attract possibilities, but a mind buzzing with worry
just gets stuck in the problem, spinning its wheels.
Exactly. And the video makes a key point. This isn't about toxic positivity or ignoring problems.
Right. It's not pretending challenges don't exist.
No, it's about how you approach them with clarity, with resilience, or letting them swamp you. A grounded mind is just more adaptable, more creative.
You see things differently.
Yeah.
You spot options.
Totally. And that Marcus Aurelius quote fits perfectly here. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts.
So happiness isn't just about what happens to you,
but how you interpret it, how you frame it in your mind. That story about Rachel and her stress levels.
Yeah, using mindfulness, reframing thoughts.
It actually worked. Less stress, new opportunities popped up. It shows that managing your internal world has real external effects.
So if you want to work on this, the video suggests first just noticing your thoughts. like becoming aware of that inner chatter.
Yeah, awareness is step one. Then, actively challenge the negative stuff. Is it really true? How else could you look at it? Reframe it.
And staying present, not worrying about yesterday or tomorrow, but focusing on now.
Right. What can you handle? What can you control right this minute? It's a practice, definitely not an overnight fix, but the payoff for your well-being and your goals is huge.
Okay, principle 3, trusting in divine timing. This one can feel hard in our want it now world.
No, absolutely. We're conditioned for instant gratification, but the video points out that rushing often leads to, well, mistakes.
Or missing important lessons along the way.
Exactly. Real growth, deep changes, they often need time, stillness, patience, like that seed analogy they use.
Right, you plant it, you nurture it, but you can't force the sprout. You got to trust nature's rhythm.
Precisely. And Epictetus again. No great thing is created suddenly.
That hits home. Anything worthwhile, big goals, strong relationships, real growth, it takes time. Persistence, patience.
You can't just demand it fits your schedule. Remember Sophie's story. Obsessed with that career goal, pushing.
Yeah, and getting nowhere fast.
Until she stepped back, focused on her own development, her skills, and just trusted the right thing would show up when the time was right. And things started flowing better.
So the takeaway here is, try to let go of needing to control the win.
Yeah, consciously release that. Focus instead on your own growth, what you're learning right now. And practice patience. Easier said than done, I know.
Definitely. But recognizing there's a natural flow and trying to align with it instead of fighting it, that sounds less exhausting.
It really is. Less internal friction.
Okay, next up, principle 4. Acting with purpose, not desperation. The video makes a really clear distinction here.
It does. Acting desperately might feel like you're doing a lot, but it often pushes success away. It comes from a place of fear, of lack.
And that energy, people pick up on it.
Subconsciously, yeah. It can undermine trust, connections, things often crucial for success. Calm, consistent, purposeful action, though, that draws success in.
So it's about steady movement, clear intention, not frantic scrambling.
Exactly. And that other Epictetus quote was spot on. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do.
So know your values, your vision first, your why.
Yes, that's your compass. Then your actions align with that. They become more grounded, confident, driven by purpose, not just panic for a quick win.
Like Jack in the video, right? Working hard but feeling lost.
Until he got clear on his values, his real goals, shifted from desperation to purpose. Then the right opportunities started showing up. His actions became intentional, effective.
So how do we do that? Get clear on who we want to be, define those values, that vision.
That's the starting point. Then trust the process. Take those consistent steps, even small ones, knowing they're aligned, and move with like a quiet confidence. No need to rush or constantly prove yourself.
Acting from knowing, not from fear. That changes everything.
It really does. The energy is completely different, and the journey feels better too.
Okay, 5th principle.
Yeah.
Letting go of control. Oh boy, this is a big one for a lot of us, myself included.
You're not alone there. The video highlights just how much energy we burn, worrying about stuff we absolutely cannot influence.
Like what other people do, or random events, or the entire future.
Right. The key distinction, the video says, is focusing on what you can control versus what you can't. And what can you truly control?
Your own thoughts, your reactions, your choices. Basically, yourself.
Exactly. Mastering yourself, your inner world, is where the real power lies. Trying to control everything out there is just futile and exhausting.
The more you try to micromanage, the more stressed you get.
Totally. But shift focus inward to your own growth, your own peace. And often, external things seem to fall into place more easily. It's paradoxical.
And that Epictetus quote about freedom.
Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control.
That reframes freedom completely. It's not about having power over everything.
It's about freeing yourself from the need to control everything, accepting the unknown, the unpredictable.
Like Anna in the anecdote, battling anxiety about the future.
Yeah, until she shifted focus. Stop trying to predict and prevent every possible bad thing, and instead focus on how she'd react, what she could do today.
And she found peace and new possibility.
Exactly. So actionable steps. Focus your attention on what's actually in your sphere of control. Your thoughts, actions, responses.
And actively release the need for a perfect plan. Embrace uncertainty a bit.
It's about building resilience, adaptability. Accept what you can't change. Focus energy where it counts. Much less stress, much more flow.
Okay. Principle 6 feels intriguing.
Yeah.
Embodying the energy of abundance.
Yeah, this is a cool one. Instead of always chasing what you feel you lack.
Live as if you already have it.
Sort of, yeah. It's a mindset shift. Operating from scarcity keeps you focused on what's missing, right? Which just reinforces that feeling.
Like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Kind of. But embodying abundance means shifting focus to what is present. Gratitude. Feeling wealthy internally. And that shift makes you more receptive. It attracts more good stuff.
So the energy you put out, it matters. If you feel lack, you attract lack. If you feel abundant.
You align yourself with abundance, even if it's just appreciating what you have now. That internal state is key. Remember the Epictetus quote on wealth?
Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants.
Exactly. True wealth is internal. Contentment. Realizing you probably already have enough or that what you need is available. It's an attitude.
That story about James, always wanting more, never satisfied.
Well, until he shifted, practiced gratitude, lived as if he was already okay, already had enough, and then
Fulfillment came. And weirdly, more opportunities, but without the desperate chasing.
it's powerful. So how to embody this? The video says, practice gratitude consciously, daily. Appreciate what's already there.
Okay. And let go of attachment to specific outcomes. Act as if it's yours, but don't cling.
Right. Act with the confidence of knowing it's coming, or even here, but release the need for it to look a certain way or arrive by Tuesday. And cultivate that core belief that you are abundant.
An internal sense of completeness. That sounds peaceful.
It is. Focusing on gratitude and that inner belief opens you up to receiving more.
All right, the final principle, number 7. Taking aligned action and then letting go. This feels like it pulls everything together.
It really does. It's about that balance. You absolutely have to do the work. Take those purposeful steps we talked about.
The aligned actions, not just busy work.
Exactly. Actions aligned with your values, your purpose. But then you have to release. Detach from the immediate result, the how, the when.
Because trying to force it, worrying about it, that creates blocks.
Yeah, that anxiety hinders the natural flow. The video emphasizes trusting that if your actions are truly aligned and you've done your part, what's meant for you will come.
In its own time. Consistency, trust, patience. Those are key here.
Absolutely. And that Seneca quote nails it. Effort and patience will achieve more than force and anxiety.
Let go of the anxiety, trust the process, and results come more naturally.
Seems to be the message. Like Grace with her business struggles. Pushing, getting frustrated.
Until she focused on consistent, aligned actions, and then let go of controlling the outcome.
Bingo. And then things started happening more organically. Opportunities arose naturally. It wasn't the frantic effort. It was the focused intention plus trust.
So, practical takeaways for this last one. Focus on controllable, aligned actions. Actions that feel right, that resonate.
Yes. Then cultivate patience. Understand good things take time.
And release that tight grip. Trust that what's meant for you won't miss you if you've done the aligned work.
That's the essence of it. It's this dynamic dance between doing and allowing, effort and surrender.
So wrapping this all up, these 7 principles, they really are interconnected, aren't they?
Deeply. They all point away from forceful chasing and towards, well, a more receptive, purposeful way of moving through life.
It feels like it's about inner work leading to outer results, shifting your mindset, your energy, your focus.
And then trusting the process more.
Which brings up a good question for you listening right now. Which one of these principles really hit home for you? Which one resonates with where you're at?
Yeah, that's a great reflection. What might change just this week if you consciously decided to lean into just one of these ideas?
Or maybe you think about a time something you wanted just landed in your lap almost effortlessly. Looking back now, can you see any of these principles at play, even if you didn't know it then?
Interesting thought.
Definitely something to chew on. We hope this deep dive gave you some useful perspectives. Maybe revisit these ideas, see how they feel in your own life with your own goals.
Consider it a starting point for exploring a potentially different, maybe even more effective way of thinking and acting.